Do you have anything?
For fear of it becoming evidence that would show how Mr. Asuki really died. I love that we still don't know how to start these.
We don't know. It's been over 100 episodes.
Yeah.
So I have no fucking clue. But why wouldn't this person have... Why wouldn't this person... Hold on, there's chips on my bed. Sorry, but why wouldn't this person have taken all the pieces of the bell anyway? Leaving half behind was always going to raise questions. Yes, well...
It was past 1 o'clock in the early hours of the evening. The cabin would have been quite dark.
Of the morning.
The single small lamp suspended from the ceiling would barely have cast any light on the floor there. Little wonder, then, that the culprit failed to notice a fragment of the tiny item.
You all suspect me, don't you? Oh.
No more snake.
No more Snook.
Seaman Stroganoff!
Shut up! Nina is woman of sea. She is daughter of strong sailor. 2 years ago, they noticed her dancing skills and she went away to join ballet company. But before, she was dancer on this ship. A member of ship's band. You do not accuse ship's angel of being criminal.
Ah,
Did you
so
say
that's
a K
it.
out loud?
You say that when the young student died, Nina was there in his cabin. But that is not possible! I give my tooth!
Well, this is all most interesting. And why would you give your tooth, pray? How can you be so sure?
You are a great detective. You should know. Look truth in eyes! Cabin bulkhead was bolted shut from inside. Nobody could go into cabin. Not Nina, not anyone. Or you want to tell me that killer can walk through locked doors? Niet! It's impossible!
Ugh! He's right.
What the fuck is that sound?
What?
There's something happening outside.
What's going on outside?
I have no idea. It sounds like a plane, like, flying really low over us, but,
It's the SS Buria.
like, I don't live anywhere near a airport, so I don't know what's going on.
That's interesting.
Okay, it's gone now, so I'm okay.
Okay, you're safe, good.
Sometimes when I hear loud noises outside, I'm like, oh, I'm getting bombed. I don't know why.
That's how I am too! That's how I am too! I'm like, oh no, this is it.
Oh my god. Okay.
This is how it ends.
But wait, I've read about this in detective stories. People often tie thread around door latches so they can open and close them from the outside. I learned
That's
this from
what I
Detective
said.
Conan, a hit anime from the 90s.
From 1890s, no? Thread? Are you stupid? These bulkheads are not barn doors.
Certainly not. These are watertight doors, as one would expect to find on any modern steamship. Constructed of heavy steel with not a gap in sight, no threads or needles or magnets could have been used. No, of course not. I thought so too. But Mr. Naruhodo suggested it earlier, so...
Oh. Susato-san! How could you shift it down to me like that? So Seaman Stroganoff has a valid point. The cabin door couldn't have been bolted shut from the outside.
Not necessarily.
What?
I put it to you that I could bolt this cabin door without laying a finger on it! And in this very cabin, we can see the traces of the method I have in mind haven't been used before.
I don't believe it!
Well, Mr. Naruhodo, I believe you know what I mean, don't you?
A way to shut the bolt of the cabin door from the outside. One way does spring to mind, yes.
Do you really know what Mr. Sholmes means, Mr. Naruhodo?
Yes. And so should you. Because we've seen it happen.
Indeed we have. So would you care to do the honors, Mr. Naruhodo?
I gotta press the button!
Yay!
Point out the telling signs of the method that was used to slide the cabin door bolt across from the outside. The cord on the wall. Oh, it's over here on the right because it's her room. Duh.
Ah.
I'm like 90% sure it's this.
Yes. Yeah. Yes!
This is it! It's not it. He's being vague.
Oh,
This
yay! It certainly shows how something was done. I concur.
You piece of shit.
In fact, it's an excellent way to show how easily it is to jump to the wrong conclusions!
Oh.
But a truly dismal way to show how the bolt could have made to sledge to outside the cabin.
Do you really need to say truly dismal?
But truly dismal!
Alright, okay.
Surely you can't really be a positive one, are you? Mr.
It's-
Shelves?
We've seen it happen! Indeed we have.
Hey, would you like to do the honors?
Oh, the books! Because the books got knocked over.
Yeah.
I'm gonna save just in case.
Yeah, maybe that's a good idea.
Just to get a little comfier with the situation. Okay. Yeah, because the books got knocked over. Look at the bookcase there.
Nice.
See how all the books and things on it have toppled over? The one thing that's not the book?
That must have happened when the ship made its emergency stop before.
Yes, that's right. It's a very powerful vessel after all. When the engines are thrown into reverse, a violent jolt goes across the entire ship. Any small objects that aren't fastened down are bound to fall over.
I believe. Yes, it's what's known as the force of inertia acting on the objects.
Is there nothing Susato-san doesn't know? Or that isn't in her book, at least.
Yeah,
Well-
she's got a lot of shit in that tiny book.
This book is like the Deus Ex Machina of this game, I swear to God.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, you want to know where he was on July 3rd? Well, here it says. Well,
Yeah.
whatever it's called. Wait, what's
Where was he January 6th?
No! No! That's the same force that pushed over these books on the bookcase also made something else in this cabin move. The bolt on the cabin door.
Ah!
It was very obvious just after the emergency stop that the ship made earlier. We had come into this cabin not long before, and we hadn't bolted the door. But then, tragedy struck. Hello, is anybody in there? Shout if you need assistance. Oh, that sounds like...
Yeah, it does. Sure does sound like Inspector Hosonaga. Inspector Hosonaga.
I forgot. Oh, sorry.
Oh yes, that's it.
Great.
When the ship stopped suddenly, the bolt flew across and locked the door.
Yes, it's made of metal, but it's small and light enough to be moved by the ship's sudden change of speed. Or the force of inertia, if you want to call it that. Are you trying to say that last night, after Mr. Asugi was killed... Really, Sky? Really? Really? It's this whole dramatic ass moment. And you couldn't turn away from the mic.
I was
burp. Are
saving
you-
it for that. I was saving
Oh
it
my
for it.
god, you piece of shit. God damn it. The SS Burya made another emergency stop. When I woke up this morning and looked around the cabin, I thought it looked a bit odd. All the books on the shelves had toppled over, and all the ornaments. It was almost as if someone had run their hand across the shelves and deliberately knocked everything over.
Oh yes, I remember that.
Oh, hold on.
I don't get to say anything.
No, you do. Hold on.
And I stood them all up again, didn't I?
Then, when we came into this cabin, we were surprised to see the same thing here. All the books and everything had toppled over, just like in Mr. Osagi's cabin.
Oh my!
Do you have anything to say about this, Miss Pavlova?
Are you out of your mind? You say Boria made the emergency stop!
It does seem a little far-fetched. How could that possibly have happened? Unless you're saying that the culprit is actually someone from the engine room.
Oh, it is simple enough.
Oh, welcome back, Shrooms.
Are you forgetting the button in the passageway outside? Used to trigger the emergency alarm! I really like seeing the things in orange, just like,
Bye.
really... Ugh,
That'll
okay.
be the bit.
Oh yes, of course. There was a notice, wasn't there, telling you only to press the button in times of emergency.
Don't look at me like that's a sign.
On dark nights when the fog is dense, the captain cannot afford to rely on the eyes of his lookout alone. Hence the placement of a number of buttons around the vessel to allow any crewman to raise the alarm.
I love boat murders. It's just hitting me. I love boat murder mysteries.
It's a bottle episode! Oh my god, it's a bottle episode!
Oh no. I don't know what that means.
So bottle when an episode from a sitcom or a show or anything takes place in one location and the characters are stuck in that location, it's called a bottle episode, kind of like a ship in a bottle. This is a bottle episode and we're on a ship, like
Oh
a
my
ship in a
God.
bottle.
We're actually the Lilliputians!
and you were Skeleton and wrote this.
And wrote this! Alright, go on.
The sort of button one is almost compelled to press to satisfy one's curiosity.
Wait! It was you?
When the button is pressed, two things happen in the interest of safety. The emergency alarm bell rings and the vessel comes to a complete stop. As indeed it did a little earlier today.
You piece of shit!
It was a big red button. What did you expect me to do? Not press the big red button? Come on.
Are you kidding
guys,
me?
guys, back me up here, guys!
Ryunosuke, come on, you're with me, right?
Mr. Sholmes.
Mr. Sholmes!
Surely it wasn't you who... As I always say, button has but one purpose in life. To be pressed! Whatever the occasion.
He sounds almost proud of himself.
Oh my god.
How dare you mess with sheep! I report you to Captain! You are in much trouble now!
Now, I'm sure all that can wait until later.
I love Sholmes.
Just not to overlook the fact that we have now learned a valuable lesson. When the vessel makes an emergency stop, the bolts on the cabin doors slide closed.
That seems very counterintuitive. Like, hey, let's lock everyone in their rooms.
But it's not like on purpose, you know?
I know. That's why I'm saying, like, they should look into that.
Yeah. So what we must now consider...
They probably will after this.
Yes, it all comes down to one thing now. Last night, after what happened to Mr. Asogi,
What happened?
did this ship make an emergency stop or did it not?
You are idiots! Boria is huge ship with many passengers. If we make emergency stop, even in middle of night, there would be chaos everywhere!
What are your thoughts, Mr. Naruhodo?
I want to be out of these handcuffs. Well, it's certainly possible that some kind of emergency happened last night. We have evidence to support that idea.
Really?
Support that idea.
What evidence, Mr. Naruhodo?
Fascinating. Do show us, my good man. What evidence permits the theory that somebody emergency corrupt this vessel? Was it the log?
The log. Because what the fuck was that about?
Yes!
Yes.
Seaman Stroganoff.
I've accepted it.
It's your duty to patrol the first class area of the ship. Isn't that right?
Ah! That is correct. Why?
And the ship's log here. This would be where you record the details of your duties.
What are you doing with that? That is mine!
Ah, you rather left it atop the starting over.
Start over.
You rather carelessly left it atop the little makeshift bureau in the passageway out there. But as responsible passengers, we took it into our care with the mind to return it to you later.
I left it there on purpose! That is where I put it always!
The point is, looking at what you usually record, it's clear that under normal circumstances, you write the phrase, "nothing to report," every 30 minutes. But from 2 o'clock last night until first light this morning, nothing was recorded at all.
Nothing recorded in the log? That is... Ah! Because nothing happened!
But if nothing happened, you would normally write "nothing to report," wouldn't you?
No.
Indeed so. Which tells us that shortly after 2 a.m., something happened. Here about the SS Bureau.
What happened?
Something suspicious. What the fuck, Shows? Why are you?
This is
Stop
so
saying
baby.
big words. I can't do this. Okay. Something
used to it.
sufficiently significant to make you forget to fill in the ship's log. In fact, are you suggesting that the ship really made an emergency stop in the middle of the night?
Stop talking rubbish!
If I'm perfectly honest, I find that a little bit hard to believe myself.
Really?
Oh? Why? Well, because if something as major as an emergency stop really had happened, surely all of us would have noticed.
That's very true. Thanks to the emergency stop we experienced earlier, we all know what it feels like now. The ship lurched so violently, the alarm bell was so loud. I can't imagine that anybody would sleep through that, even if it happened in the dead of night.
The dead of night?
Well, no. That's a good point.
Shut up, Sasato. Shut up. Shut up.
Shut up.
What's of the throbbing? What? Hello?
Sorry? All of our heads hurt. All of our heads hurt. Dude, Sky, do you remember this?
I remember
'Cause
they
I-
kept talking about the headaches. Now I
Yes.
remember.
Yeah, everyone's like, gosh, I've had a headache all morning. Sorry? What? Apologies, everyone. It's been a couple months. Recording this. Sorry. What do you mean?
Your head, man.
I love when he says, man. Your head, man.
The throbbing of your head since this morning. We have all suffered with it. Oh!
Oh, yes. I have had a headache, you're right. In fact, I haven't been feeling myself since I woke up today.
Nor have I.
My head has been feeling heavy ever since dawn.
Yes, you've all been afflicted, haven't you? Just as I suspected.
He's right. My head's been throbbing all day, too. And since eating dinner yesterday evening, everything has felt sort of hazy.
So, like, everyone has concussions? Is that what this is?
I can't really remember anything that happened after I climbed back inside the wardrobe. Then the first thing I noticed this morning was the throbbing pain in my head. I had already been dragged out of the wardrobe and had those handcuffs put on me by that point. Why didn't I wake up when all that was happening to me? When all that was happening to me? That was a weird read. Oh well.
Tell me, Mr. Naruhodo. bought this vessel as a stowaway, didn't you?
Wow, wow, detective. Oh, well, yes. Sorry.
The stowaway class of accommodation doesn't usually include meals. What did you survive on?
Ah, well, Cosmo looked after me. He was always happy to share his meals.
So, you enjoyed some of the whole roast chicken dish that was served yesterday evening, I take it?
Yes! In fact, I had all of that. Cosmo wasn't fond of chicken.
Oh, really? So the victim didn't eat any of the chicken at all?
That's right. He didn't even touch it. Is that relevant?
Well, yes, because I poisoned it. My dear fellow, does that not strike you? Oh? Mr. Sholmes, do you mean to say that there was something wrong with the chicken?
Something wrong with the chicken?
I do.
No! Really? Is that really true?
The meal prepared for the passengers last night has been tampered with. Tampered with by the addition of a soporific designed to induce a very deep slumber in those who consumed it.
A sleeping drug? Do you mean whoever did this laced every meal with a sleeping drug so no one would notice the ship's emergency stop?
Everyone was drugged?
Everyone got drugged?
Mr. Naruhodo, of course that's not what Mr. Sholmes means. What a far-fetched idea. Precisely.
Precisely.
Lacing every meal of every passenger on board with a soporific drug would certainly be impossible. Unless, that is, every single member of the crew was a conspirator.
What?
Mr. Sholmes! Well, Steven. I'm sorry to say that any more deception in this matter will get you nowhere. If you refuse to talk, there would have to be an inquiry made through the shipping company, of course.
Of course.
And were that to happen, every member of the crew, and the captain himself, would be hauled over the coals. For aiding and abetting a renegade. That's my favorite Styx song.
Shut up.
Wait, I don't even think that Styx. Who's singing that? Hold on.
I don't know. Please, no more. I will tell everything.
No, it is Styx. I was right. Okay.
Oh, okay. I cannot make problems like this for everyone anymore.
We'll get her confession next time on Shuttle Junk.
Yeah, let's go.